2022. You know, I don't know really what to say about this vintage because it's such an anomaly. It's something that if you look at the weather reports on paper, you would never guess that the wines taste the way they do. That, I mean, it was hot, it was dry. You would think you would not get this like freshness and this vibrancy in the wines. You would get these kind of dopey, big fruit, blah, 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 type of wines. Yeah, it wasn't the case, you know. And I remember when, you know, Kyle and I were in Bordeaux tasting these on premiere. Basically, again, and I know we've said this many times, but the Bordelais, the thing was freshness. And there was freshness in the wines, you know. But now that they're in bottle, I'm tasting things and seeing things in 2022s that I've never in my history in the wine business, which is kind of a long time because I'm old, that I've never seen before. At such a young, youthful age. Even in the bottle, these wines have vibrancy and power, and there's elements of the terroir, whether it's right bank, left bank, you know, Pessac, Margaux, Pauillac, Steph, Saint Julien, Saint Emilion, Pomerol. It's kind of a, I don't wait. It's a mind fuck. Yeah. You know, I wish I had the answer, but the answer's in the bottle, because these wines are so good. It's right now. Okay, I just met with a big negotiant a couple days ago, and he was telling me, and this guy, he's older than me actually, and he was even telling me, he's like, I don't think I've ever tasted a vintage as great as 2022. I mean, this guy's tasted going back to 80s and 90s, and you know, I get what he's saying, because I've tasted a lot of those wines too. You know, you have very classical Bordeaux. You have wines like in 03 and 05 and 9 and 10 and 15 and 16, where, you know, they all have their kind of special place, you know, but 22 has something over all of them, and I'm not kidding, all of them. Today we have something really special because one of the wines I thought that was spectacular in 22, and there are many actually, but this wine I thought uber spectacular was Pave Macquin. Now, Pave Macquin is on the Côte de Pavie, and Côte de Pavie is kind of it's a hill that's a little bit of, you know, kind of comes around. It's a hill, right? There's at least three sides of the hill. Then you go up into what is called, you know, the plateau. And Pave Macquin is top and kind of on the northwest side of the hill of the Côte de Pavie, and so it's a little cooler there. And when you have a hot vintage, a dry vintage, there's two things that benefit from a hot vintage. One, limestone. And Pave Macquin is on limestone. Why? Because limestone retains water. And if you go, actually there's an area in Pavie where they took me to, Pavie, not Pave Macquin, but it's on the same thing, where there's underwater springs. So they have this like sponge-like character to the terroir, which the vines actually will get their water source even when they haven't seen rain in 20 days and it's been 90 degrees every day. So there's a benefit there, and that benefit is why a lot of these wines have a tendency to kind of, are vibrant. And especially with Pave Macquin, because they are biodynamic. And biodynamic is a very difficult way of farming when you are dealing with elements of heat and or mildew and rain and all these other aspects that actually are detrimental to grapes. But in 2022, you had this heat, you had, dry weather, but then in September, the rains came, but not enough to affect the grapes, but just enough to bring new life to the vines. And so I'm super excited to try this because I haven't tried it in bottle yet. We support these wines almost annually because Pave Macquin with Nicolas Thiopont, Stéphane Durandecourt, Nicolas' son, Cyril. I mean, these guys are just such great winemakers and great enologists. I mean, they also work with Boucher de Faux, amongst other chateaus, and but this is their baby. This is their baby. Man, if this doesn't bring a smile to your face, wow. This is amazeballs wines. You get texture from limestone, but you got fruit, man. This just driving energy of fruit. 80% Merlot, 20% Cabernet Franc, very kind of typical. Maybe a little Cabernet Sauvignon kind of splashed in there as well. They're using big barrels and French oak. I mean, big French oak. Botte and French oak. I think they even have some eggs as well. At least last time I was on the cellar, we kind of walked around. Multiple 98-point scores on this wine. Okay, not just one, multiple. And insane reviews. We are 89.98 on this wine. We're under $100 on a multiple 98-point Saint Emilion wines from Pave Macquin, one of the greatest winemakers in the world. And we don't have a lot of it. So, we try to bring as much as we could in the last couple months due to the economic climate. It's tough in our business right now, but we have this wine, it's here, and you should buy it because realistically, for under $100, it's incredible. In fact, I'm going to drink some more right now. Boy, the staff is in for a treat tonight because this wine is bonkers. Wow. It's got it all. What's so amazing about this wine is the balance. And this is what the whole thing about 2022 is all about. It was balance. It was freshness. There's lift to the wine. There's energy. Oh, buy this wine. You will be so happy.